Good morning. Bună dimineața. I'm trying to use more Romanian. Let me know if that was good or not. Anyways, welcome back. My name is Sierra, and today I wanted to sit down. I'm exposing myself. I'm putting myself on blast. And I am exposing hilariously uncomfortable and awkward things because I was that American when I moved to Europe. But I have some really funny stories that I'm going to share with you today. So let's just jump right in. So the first thing that I learned when moving to Europe is they are not a completely cashless society. Like, I feel like the US mostly is cashless. I would say like 98%. And I did make that up. I don't know if that's completely accurate. Nobody ever has cash. It's like all digital. You get the point. So when we moved to Europe, we quickly found out that that is not the case. The amount of times I have found myself in a predicament where we're at a restaurant, we just ate all of our food, and then we find out cash only. An embarrassingly large amount of times that has happened. So forewarning, if you come to Europe, if you travel to Europe, just take out some cash and have it on you because chances are you're gonna have to pay with cash. The first time I experienced this, my husband and I went on a trip to Rome. This was the first time we'd ever been anywhere in Europe. We, thought it'd be cute, take a little trip to Rome. I thought I was on top of it, guys. I thought I was on top of everything. I scheduled the trip, I booked the Airbnb, I booked the taxi transport. I'm living my dream life in Rome. Like, I'm so excited watching the scenery. Guys, we get to the hotel, we start unpacking, and the guy knocks on our door. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and leave. We're like, okay, bye. Thanks so much for all your help. And he's like, oh, it'll be 60 euros. Excuse me? 60 euros, like we pay you cash right now? I was shocked and embarrassed because we had no cash. We literally had no cash on us. I thought everything was taken care of through the hotel. I didn't know that I was paying this driver in person. So we are like, oh my gosh, like we don't have any cash. We're so sorry. Can we go to an ATM? So we go to the ATM. First of all, everything is in Italian. We don't speak it. We're like trying to translate it on our phones. Also, side note, we didn't have Wi-Fi. That's a whole nother story. We didn't have Wi-Fi, so like we couldn't translate the language. So we're like trying to figure out how to get cash out at this ATM, and our card gets declined. The card's declined. Needless to say, we were so freaking embarrassed. The guy was mad because he couldn't get paid. I contacted the hotel. We were able to work out the details. Let's just say I learned my lesson. I will never travel again in Europe without having cash, ever. Ever. Oh my gosh. This second story is so terrible. Could have been terrible. The first time we ever used public transport in Europe was our trip to Paris. We are getting on the train and everybody is rushing. Like, the doors start beeping so that you know that they're gonna close soon, but like people would not move out of the way once they got on the train, so everyone was just crowded at the door. I like barely slip on, and my husband's coming on right after me, and the door closes on his backpack. So he's stuck in the door, like literally. Imagine these are the train doors behind me. He's literally stuck in them. We're just dying laughing because what else are you supposed to do? So we're like pulling the backpack to get it out of the door. I will say after that, after we were on public transport, like I made sure, I didn't shove people, but I made sure like people were clear out of my way, moving through the train so we did not get stuck in the doors again. But honestly, that made for a great story. Another hilarious story, this one's a little bit, I would say 21 older. When my husband and I went to the red light district in Amsterdam, we were walking by. This random guy was standing on the corner and offered us some white powdered sugar in a baggie. Never have seen that before. That was quite different for me. He did say the word very subtly to us when we were walking by. like so nonchalantly, like if he was asking if we wanted a slice of pie. Like, no thanks, bruh, we're good. Did that really just happen? Yes, it did. No, thank you. I will stick with my sour gummy worms that I have in my bag, and I'll be on my way. Thank you, kind sir. Thank you for the offer. This one is honestly so hilarious. The communication barrier is a real thing. When my husband and I were living in Malaga, Spain for 1 month, it's so funny just like how different things are called. So we go to this pizza place. He asked for spicy peppers and he was saying, you know, like jalapeno, habanero. And the waiter was like, yes, yes, of course. Like, yes, we will do that. Spicy, perfect. The pizza comes out. The shock on our face when we saw a ham and pineapple pizza, there was no peppers. Absolutely no peppers on this pizza. Chalk it up to some good old miscommunication, and let's just say we never went back there. Oh my gosh, this one has me rolling on the ground. Literally I swear this happens to me a few times a week. If you don't know, we don't have a car here in Europe, so we walk everywhere. The pigeons here are like bow and arrows. I swear, they will literally swoop within inches in front of your face like they're gonna hit you. I think they have a vendetta against people because they will literally swoop in front of you so close. The amount of times I catch myself flinching because these pigeons, they're ruthless. They come right at you. It happened to me a couple of days ago. I was walking to get coffee in the morning and this pigeon like came, dive bombed right at my face, and I flinched so hard. I think people thought something was wrong with me. It's like one of those situations you don't want to look up and see who's watching you because it's so embarrassing. The pigeons are ruthless here. Okay, this one honestly gets me every single time. In bigger cities, I think in the US, people have access to like the electric scooters that you can rent. So like there's an app on your phone, you just scan it and then you can like ride the scooters all around. So this is something we never experienced because we lived in the Midwest and it was like on the outskirts of downtown. So you just drive everywhere. But we were obsessed with these, they're called Lime scooters. We were obsessed with these scooters when we first moved here. We decided we were going to take 2 of them to go down to the mall because it's like an 1.5-hour walk. So we take these Lime scooters, we're having a good old time driving all around town, sightseeing, looking at all the cool buildings. We noticed we're on a very busy street, which we come to find out was a highway. So we're driving down the side of the highway, right? There's like no other Lime scooters, but we don't really think anything of it. We park right in front of the mall to find out we're in a no park zone. So we have to Lime 15 minutes down the road, drop off our scooters in the park zone, and then walk all that way back to the mall. But I just crack up every single time thinking about us, like those dumb Americans driving their freaking Lime scooters down the side of the highway. Oh my gosh, it cracks me up every single time because I'm like, we honestly were just so oblivious on the side of the highway, literally. The next story is whenever we went to Spain, we were right on the beach. The first time I saw people topless or like little kids running around with nothing on, I was shook to my core. I had literally never seen this before. That is not a thing in the US. Being topless at a beach, you have to go to like specific parts for that, but this was like the full-on public beach. I feel like if that were to happen in the US, people would be like staring at the women. It would be so weird. In Spain, it's like so normal to like be topless. Americans are just so shy and so awkward about that stuff, and it's like no nudity anywhere. So I just think it's funny like how normal it is there, and everybody was fine with it. And then here we are like, did you see that girl? She had no shirt on. And we're like, it's like hard not to look, honestly, but it's normal. Okay, so trying to figure out how to tell people where you're from when you're abroad is so funny. Like everyone calls different parts, I feel like so different, especially the United States. People call it so many different things. Like, I have mostly heard foreigners call it the States. That's just what I've always heard. Like, when I watch YouTube videos or stuff like that, people always say the States. So that's what I thought was normal, but apparently that's not. So my husband goes into this restaurant and he's picking up the food, and the guy can tell he's a foreigner. So he asks, "Hey, where are you from?" And my husband's like, "Oh, we're from the States." And the guy's like, "Where?" "Oh, we're from, do you know where Kansas City is?" And the guy's like, "Where are you from? Like, where are you from?" And my husband's so confused because he's like, "I just said where we were from," but he was so confused. So then my husband points over to the Airbnb and he's like, "Oh, we're from there." And the guy's just like, "What country are you from?" You live and you learn, okay? It's not always as straightforward. It's confusing. It's confusing, okay? From now on, just say the United States. We're from the United States. We're from the USA, okay? No confusion. That's it. Straightforward, simple. Okay, so the last story that I want to tell just makes me laugh because I did not want to stand out at all. I wanted to just blend in. I wanted people to think I was European. So I'm wearing like a black tank top, black tennis skirt, and my Nike Air Forces, and I thought I was European. This was the first day I was here, by the way. The very first day I got into town. So I'm walking down the street. My husband and I, neither of us are talking. We're literally just walking. I'm not even smiling. Oh, when you see someone smiling on the street, you immediately know they're American. Like, I was blending in. I was just walking. I wasn't talking. I wasn't smiling. These two girls walk by, immediately start talking in Romanian. I hear them say something and then American. How? The people in Europe are so keen. They can spot an American from 1,000 miles away, I swear. They know immediately right away. I just think it's funny because I wanted to blend in so bad, and I've been spotted so many times. People know. It's just something about me, I guess. Even if I'm not talking, that's what gets me. Even if I'm not talking, I don't understand how people know, but it is what it is. I just come to accept it. I don't try to hide it no more. And that's all she wrote. So if you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. Honestly, you deserve a gold star. Ting. I appreciate you being here. I'm so excited that I get to share my life and be open with you guys. Thank you so much for just being so kind and supporting me. And I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.